man.
Mm,
Cincinnati, Ohio in the
yeah,
building, man.
yeah, man.
Uh, unfortunate situation all the way around, man. Like I said, I don't have any kids, man. I don't know what I would have done in the situation, but damn, my man totally. This is the definition of crashing out. No pun intended. Um, yeah, man. Somebody want to get a rundown on the situation of his brother?
Yeah, so I guess Cincinnati Police Department. Uh, well, his son um, supposedly was in a stolen vehicle,
Yeah.
and then, of course, when they get pulled over by police, he takes off running. Cop shoots him in the back, claims that there was a gun. You know, then they show the video to his family the next day. His father watches the video, of course, loses his shit, leaves the police department, and crashes into
Retired.
a deputy, yeah, retired deputy that's directing traffic, and he kills him. The deputy was, of course, not involved in the situation, but the first cop he saw, he took out.
Well,
Uh,
What's up, Sully?
what's up?
no, they did say that he did that after having a one-on-one conversation with a detective in there. And I guess
Mm,
he was asking for something to be done. And they said, we're not doing it. And that's when
Okay.
whatever
What you
that
got?
conversation was,
Right. Set him off. Whatever it was, set him
oof.
completely off. Like, look, uh, make sure the wife get my watch. On some old Donnie Brasco shit. Leave that for her up on the dresser. And yeah, I'm not coming back. Sauce, what you got?
I think it's a sad situation all around because number one, I think that they said that there was no weapon. They didn't find a weapon.
They said they found one in the vehicle, and I think somebody else because folks got out and ran. But I
Right.
think they did find a weapon, but it turns out dude had a cell phone or some shit, something like
Okay.
that. But yeah, I think they did find a weapon in the vehicle, but they said no shots were fired.
Okay. So car was stolen. We
Yeah,
don't know who the fuck stole it.
right,
We don't know if he was an accomplice, or that age old situation where cat get in the car with his homies in his car and stole it.
right.
At the end of the day, we talking about a young man that was running. And too many times we've seen where somebody black, I'm not saying that it hasn't happened to anybody else. I'm just saying what we see publicized, like the brother that was running from the cop, I think it was North or South Carolina, uh, and the cop shot him in the back. Too often we see where somebody is running and they'll just fucking gun them down. And then it's like, oh, well, there was a weapon and I was in fear of my life. And, you come to find out that these motherfuckers was lying.
Right.
And all of this shit would stop if they would just start prosecuting, these motherfuckers, not just being prosecuting, but you know what I'm saying, charging these motherfuckers for murder. Once people see, hey man, it's a punishment for these types of actions, people tend not to do that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
instead, they want to keep this image of, well, the police department is it's only a small minority. With my son, we went up to they had a particular family day for us to come up when he was in the academy, and they said it's only like 1/2 of 1%. And I said, you a motherfucking lie. Here they got whole police departments. They got whole cities that ain't got a police department here. You understand what I'm saying? So you look at Vallejo, you look at places like Antioch, where all of these like half the fucking department got caught in tech saying racist shit and doing all kind of shit. You look at California, where the sheriff's department got their own fucking gangs. But my point is, man, he's already a black man. He's already seen the same shit that everybody on this panel has seen. And if for it to happen to his son, pressure just broke a pipe, man.
Yeah.
You know what I
Uh,
mean? Like, what can you say? I feel bad for the off-duty officer who didn't do it, but at the same time, man, they stole his son's right to due process, man. If his son was found guilty and sentenced to 25 years, that's 25 years that he could go see his son. He doesn't have that no more, and we expect people to be sane with that type of shit. To just go on about their business, to take a check and say it's all good.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad all the way around. What I think is more fucked up, and then I'll pass it because I know I done went a little bit long. When I saw this right here, look at how all these motherfuckers these motherfuckers didn't show up to support that cop. They showed up to intimidate the brother, man. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
We know what that's the whole
Yeah,
tactic because they're not
yeah.
supposed to feel the galley like that. Um, I think it's I understand. I can't even say I understand, but I somewhat empathize with the brother on his, on his crashing out. But I know he now that I can't even say that the dust is settled. Now he has probably some time to reflect. I'm sure he like, what did I just do to my family? You know what I mean? Because they got to move. His family can't be in fucking Cincinnati no more. You got nothing but a target on your whole family now, directly with the police department, man. You got Ohio right there and Kentucky right. They got to move. They got to switch time zones. They got to get the hell out of Dodge, man, because it's on. You don't think they're gonna get their lick back?
I think that, but I also think that that's not what he's thinking. I think he's thinking that his son is gone.
I understand it, but that he's still here now, and the family's got to live with the consequences of his actions. Is what I'm saying. It's like now that everything is done, shit. Now they can't be there no more. Hell, I don't
And
even
with
know if they're allowed there. I'm sure the mom was probably like, well, hell, if I got to relocate, I might not even have be able to bury my child in Ohio.
and what you listen, what you're saying is a very real thing. I know of a family, you know, mines we kind of had it, but not as bad as this other family I know where the brother was always into some shit, and
Hmm.
he pretty much ruined that last name,
Hmm.
and they would pull over it. But what I'm saying is the shit it happens too many fucking times. I'm not justifying what this dude did. I'm just speaking on his state of mind. I don't think he give a fuck about that, to be honest. I think what he cares about is that his son is gone. Again, Tamir Rice. They did the same shit. They rode up, it was a little boy playing, and they just started shooting. I don't even think they got the fuck out. I think it was less than 6 seconds before they shot him.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
they settled. They cashed moms out for like 2-3 mil. They cashed her out, and you know what I'm saying. Again, I don't know if she's still in the land because you got to go. You got to go after certain circumstances. I understand you saying that he don't give a shit, but people still got to live, work, and do what they got to do to survive day to day after this. Like I said, he's still here. The
But
family
you,
is still here.
but it's crazy because when Timmy Bay did what he did, he was
Mhm.
glorified. People
Hey,
supported his family while he was away. Even though he was alone and he only had a few people, they were supported.
hmm
He was supported. Money was on his books the whole time,
hmm
right? Look what
hmm
he did. This
hey,
man, see, as soon as he gets locked down, them sheriffs in that county prison going to beat him down unless he get locked, unless he click up with somebody that has enough power to protect him,
hmm
right?
yeah,
It's crazy. It's crazy how when we do something
of
for
course.
what been done to us, we get crapped on. And then when one of them do it, they get love letters and fan mail.
Oh, that feeds into the whole script we got going on this evening with follow with old girl who called the little baby just the N word on the playground. You see what I'm saying? And you see where the money is, how much she raised so far. As of Tuesday, it was over $670,000.
It's fucking
And to that
bananas.
point, did you see where the FOP, the sheriff's department, and Cincinnati police all got together and pressured GoFundMe to remove the fundraising for this man and his child. And on the flip side, of course, anytime a cop shoots a kid,
Right.
they'll raise money for that cop. They raise money
absolutely.
for Shiloh Hendricks or whatever.
Yeah.
And, here we have a situation where there's institutional racism, you know, taking its place, showing its face. It's complete bullshit. But it's like we constantly deal with this where a cop will make a huge fucking mistake and lie about it, and every fucking cop that's with him will back his story. Now they said he had a gun. Of course, they showed the video. There's no fucking gun. They said the car was stolen, and now it's coming out that this kid just missed a car payment, and the company reported it stolen. So, like, you
Yeah.
know, it's a bunch of nonsense always thrown out about this kid, and I can't wait for them to say that he was mixing Skittles with iced tea and making super nigga serum.
Damn,
It's,
It's
damn.
and I'm
this is
glad
where
you
we
go ahead, Cuddy. No, I want to hear what you said.
nah, man. I mean, this is just where we're at because there's constant nonsense. They have a huge voice when it comes to controlling the media, and we're always the fucking victim. You know, um, I feel a certain way, of course, because police have fed my entire family my entire life. Between my mother, my stepfather, my brothers, sisters, cousins, are all police officers. But some shit is just fucking wrong. And at the point I'm in my life right now, I just think these motherfuckers are part of the largest criminal organization on the fucking planet.
Well, but again, that's why I can't sit up here and much respect, big bro, to your opinion, but that's why I can't sit up here and be like, oh, he didn't think about his family, he didn't think about damn that. I mean, look at Chicago. Same thing. Brother was running. Oh, he had a gun. Brother never had a gun. Brother over in Walmart, over in Dayton, Ohio. Oh, he got a rifle in the back. Even though you could buy a fucking rifle, they came in, shot him, didn't ask any fucking questions.
Right,
You
right.
know, like I said, Tamir Rice. We can look at the Trayvon Martin situation, even though it wasn't a cop. The brother over in North Carolina who had a warrant for fucking child support payments. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole system against one group of people. You know what I mean? And it's not even just the cops. When they fuck up, they get money raised for them. We talking about, again, going into the next story. You call a little kid that shit, and you raise over $670,000 because now you and your fucking family got to move. Like,
That's fucking bananas, bro.
listen, I think cops are some of the most noble people. I think it's an honorable job, but I'm not going to sit up here and play like these motherfuckers are infallible. If I at my job do something wrong, I'm getting fired. These motherfuckers can murder people and say I was in fear for my life, and all they gonna do is if anything, at worst they might get bounced to the next fucking states to the next fucking department.
Paid
Like,
leave. Paid
that's what
leave.
I'm saying.
Right.
This shit is building up in all of us. I hate to even see stuff. Like, it's not that I don't care. I just know this shit. I have a reaction to this shit. And then, I get online and I look and there's this whole new brand of exceptional Negroes that feel like, yeah, I got money and I did this and he shouldn't have been doing that. It could be any fucking one of us, man. It could
Right.
be any fucking one of us. They got an anime kid. They shot this cat because you can see the motherfucker was dressed up like an anime character. He was half white, and they shot the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? There are so many stories of this happening. Like, I can't sit up here and just, say, hey man, fuck his pain. He ain't think about his family. I think his family like, hey man, he all right. Until people start taking this shit seriously and saying, man, we got to do something about these guys. Then these guys will say, you know what? Hey, man, look, I ain't going to do this. Because the one thing is, what did they say? Oh, man, there's a shortage of officers because people crack down. Somebody will take the fucking job. Somebody will take the fucking job. Like you just got people in there abusing them. And the fact that, like, look at how they looking at him. Even the bitch up there, even the bitch looking at him. Like, come on, man. That could be your little boy sooner than it would be the dude next to her little boy. It's crazy, man. Again, I feel for the officer that ain't had shit to do with it, man. But they got to start punishing these dudes and quit taking that. I was in fear of my life, motherfucker. That person ain't got nothing but skin, and you got Batman's utility belt plus a gun, taser, radio, baton, and all kind of other shit, man.
I
All
used
right.
to, yeah, I used to work. I was a fireman for the city of Greensboro. I used to work out in the gym. The cops are there. Talked to the detective. He's over training, and he said, "Man, one day he said we're gonna start having a lot more mistakes. That's gonna show up in the department." And I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Because our budget's been cut, so we're starting to set students that we normally would decline because they don't get a certain score on a psych eval because they don't do certain things when they're evaluated." He goes, "But now we circle back and we call them back because we can't retain the other people because we don't have the funds or we don't have the stipends and things like that. So we get the guys we really shouldn't be hiring. So we're hiring knuckleheads to carry a gun, and then these are the things that happen." And this is how
Indeed.
he explained it to me. He was like, "And there's nothing I could do about it because I gotta fill shoes."
Listen, let me just say one last thing too, man. Because I could have swore when that whole Black Lives Matter, the legit shit started, it wasn't about just like a white cop. I'm not even specifically talking about, I think they turned it into a race thing because it's like, oh, but I'm just gonna say it's not just white cops. It's all of these motherfuckers, Hispanic, black
That's
or
what I'm saying.
otherwise.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
there's
saying.
a power trip because I'm pretty sure all of us got a story about a cop just went over fucking board with us, and we like, hey man, what's the deal? I could name a cop all of you motherfuckers know, right? Well, except for Sully. If you from Youngstown, you know this cop, and I ain't gonna say his name because it's a tragic story with it. But yeah, I remember being a kid and going back through, you could cut back behind the Lincoln Oaks Plaza and go home where I live back in there in the Lincoln Square Apartments. I had a bag of groceries, and this motherfucker stopped me, put that light on my ass, and man, and was acting like nigga I was Nino Brown back there selling bricks, like I was moving weight back that motherfucker,
I'm
man.
about to go
You
watch
know,
that shit now.
yeah, and hostile,
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
was like,
Oh yeah.
oh shit. So, you know, it's something got to happen, man. It's that culture that's fucked up, man.
It's not the culture; it's the entire system that's designed specifically
Absolutely,
for this. I mean, when you
absolutely.
look at the entire Justice Department, we had COINTELPRO, we had Fast and Furious, where they instigated fucking crimes.
Yeah,
Okay. And then on the back end, they have private investors for private prisons and they guarantee occupancy. So, you can't sit here and say that these police are, some of them are good or some of them bad. Some of them just haven't fucking thought about the entire situation.
right.
Um, they are part of a criminal organization. Anytime you create a crime, you provide, the necessary elements to commit the crime, and then you go and arrest a motherfucker for doing it. Like that's organized crime, man.
But wasn't
Um,
that wasn't that correct me if I'm wrong, Cuddy? Wasn't that Rampart over there that was dressing up like gang members from different
oh,
sets and starting wars and shit?
hmm
So who else does that sound like?
hmm
The motherfucking contracting companies that was over there in the Middle East. One
Yeah.
putting on some shit like the Sheeties and the Sunnis
Yeah.
and going at it.
Yeah. That's a
yeah,
whole nother segment, son. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother
yeah.
segment.
Don't
Yeah,
get
man.
me done
Please
now.
let's segue to this
Trump
because
gonna fix this
yeah,
shit.
it fixed. it transitions lovely, man, with this next segment, man. Yeah, Trump will
Oh,
fix this shit. But